do well out there.
Well, can I give a shout out to my daughter's artwork?
Do it after the call. We're
Sure.
going live now. Absolutely.
Okay.
Welcome back. This is the 52 Weeks to Wealth. Wealth Principle 42. Give the impression of increase and advancement. If you're a real estate investor and you're looking to get to the next level, like all real estate investors are, throw your hands to the camera. Look to double your income, increase your net worth. Excellent. So we're a real estate investment community, and I'm on a mission to build 100 millionaires, 100 millionaires who are inspired to build 100 millionaires. And the only way to do that is through giving the impression of increase and advancement. Hands to the camera if you are a licensed real estate agent. Licensed real estate agents, where are you at? Excellent, excellent. So as a real estate agent, you're also giving the increase of advancement, the impression of advancement and increase to other people by showing them those beautiful houses, showing them the investment properties for investment agents. And this is for the investor-friendly agents, people who are working with people who want to make more money. You want to show the ROI, the return on investment, what they're going to get in the end. And the reason we do this is because people are attracted to two types of people. They're attracted to the people who are just like them. So if they're an advancing person themselves, they're looking to build a portfolio, looking to build wealth, even if they're the first-time home buyer. By the way, the information on the first-time home buyer is a 36-year-old woman who is in a committed relationship. Although 18% of home sales are done by single women, they are the lowest price home sales on the market. Whereas the other I want to say it's over 78% of sales are done by women who are 36 years old in a committed relationship, either married or with a spouse or have a kid on the way. So these are triggers for the first-time home buyer. They're advancing, they're moving their lives forward. They're right in that age of getting job increases. They're right in that age of changing the state that they're living in. Many people are moving to Florida right now, Florida, Texas, and Arizona. We saw that in the real estate prediction that I put out on Facebook a couple of days ago. Hands to the camera if you saw the real estate prediction at the summit. You were live at the summit. Excellent. Who got to watch the real estate prediction that I put out a couple of days ago? Who saw that? Excellent. Now, who saw the blog that I put out on it? Anybody see the blog? The blog is 3 times bigger, and it's my real estate prediction for 2022 to 2030. It's a 10-year, 8-year prediction where I looked at and said, where is real estate going? And in that blog, I put way more details than I brought out at the summit. At the summit, I gave a brief overview, but when I had time to sit down at the computer and type it out, I put a whole lot more information into it. Hands to the camera if you know that's probably a good thing to go take a look at after this call. Yes, it is a prediction based on facts. So when you're making your decisions and your business partner is saying, well, why are we doing this? You can now advance them and give the impression of advancement and increase through information, through facts. The faster you're able to get people on your side, the faster you're able to inspire them to move towards the same goal with you, the faster your business grows. If you're having conversations with your partners, with your employees, with your spouse, and they're not on the same page, nothing happens, right? You'll see them moving in different directions. You'll see them putting the anchors down and slowing you down. And you'll see it's same with your family. If you can't articulate why real estate makes sense, why building a business makes sense, you're going to see all of the anchors show up around you in your life. It's like being a boat that can't get out of the dock. Who here has ever had a family member tell them that what they were trying to do was too ambitious, or that they might get hurt, or that they're concerned that maybe they should just get a job? Excellent. Let's give each one of you a round of applause, because it sounds like none of you took that advice. You're all here on this call. You're all here advancing and moving forward. So those anchors can slow us down. And the easiest way to get out of those anchors is to have a compelling message, to have an understanding so tight that when somebody tells you that buying real estate is crazy, scary, wrong, or risky, or that you're going to be doing tenants and toilets, you have a objection that you can give back. This is not just for them to get them on board. This is also for you so that you feel comfortable and confident in what you're doing. Who knows that they make more powerful decisions when they're confident in their decision? Hands to the camera if you make more powerful decisions when you're confident in what you're doing. Absolutely. Who here knows that they commit to those decisions and they stick in it if they're very confident and they have the facts to back it up? You feel confident in your numbers and your facts. Excellent. So this is why it's very important for you to have this information, for you to know how to evaluate a deal, for you to know how to take down a property, for you to know whether or not this is a good deal for seller financing or subject to existing mortgages. In fact, this week, I've gotten this question more than any other question is, how do I buy a house with no money down right now? Hands to the camera if you've ever thought that And I know plenty of my millionaires are thinking it, right? Think it all the time. Because as soon as we get money in real estate, as soon as we get cash, boom, it's in a deal. It's gone. We don't have the cash anymore. In fact, I've been getting so much shit on Instagram lately because I posted a bunch of fake money and people are like, oh, show a picture of real money. Why would a rich person have real cash on them? My millionaires, hands to the camera, if you know, like we don't ever hold cash. A couple of you have held cash, and I talked a lot of shit until you put that cash back into investments. So let's give Melanie Santos a round of applause because she knows to redeploy her cash. And she's been growing very fast because money doesn't sleep, but it does get bored. If you just sit it in a bank account, it earns less than 1% and it doesn't grow. It's going down in value. Inflation is eating the dollar right now. It's absolutely terrifying when you think about I think about how much money we have sitting in the bank because it's in between deals and I get stressed out. Just thinking about it losing, it's dying, yeah, shrinking a little bit. But we move it fast enough where the flow is fast enough where it gets back into deals. And you can make a better return in real estate, even in crypto or stocks, even if one of those assets goes down for a little bit. At least in real estate, it's cash flowing. At least in real estate, it's paying us a dividend back every month. It's paying something. And the mortgage is going down in value. The taxes at the end of the year, taxes are coming up. Who's already thinking about taxes for this year? I already know this time to line that shit up. Yes, it's awesome because the taxes have depreciation on them. That's money that where the building went down in value, according to the government, 27.5 years, now we're able to get that money back. So how does all this tie into advancement? It's because each one of you on this call is the perfect example of a man or woman who is advancing. Each one of you on this call is an example of somebody who is in the way of increase, because you were doing these things, because you were getting the knowledge, you're growing. So your friends and family who are listening to you outside when you're speaking with them, if you can give them tactical, short answers that are more understandable and always at the end of the conversation, end of the sentence, has some form of increase or advancement, they will be more compelled to move with you. If you end your sentences with some sort of negative or disadvantaged word, they're going to think that there's a problem with your investment idea or with your business idea. Now, this is something that a lot of us have no control over at first. We don't know we're doing it. In fact, who knows that the first thing that they normally say is actually something negative and working against them? Has anybody ever noticed that? The first thing you say, okay, now let me give you an example. The first thing you say may be something like this. Well, you don't want to do that. Has anybody ever said that to somebody? Don't do that. All of that, like, don't go work a job for the next 40 years. You say it to your family, oh, you shouldn't be working for somebody else. What are they going to do? Go work for somebody else. The only option you delivered in that sentence. So the right option is you want to earn as much money as you possibly can in a shorter period of time. You want your money to earn for you. So if you waste your time making statements that are negative that only strengthen their existing reality, that's all you're going to do. You're going to end up strengthening the existing reality. You've heard the story of the two wolves. Everybody's heard this. There's two wolves in your head. And the question is, is it a good wolf and an evil wolf? Or we'll say there's the financially free wolf, and there is the wolf that has to work for somebody else and be that person's little bitch for the next 40 years until they can retire on a menial sum, a small amount of income. Which wolf wins? Which wolf lives? It's the wolf that you feed. It's the wolf that you put more information into, the more energy into. So if you're feeding the financial freedom wolf and you're putting that little bit of money aside, you're buying the right investments. Well, first you're educating yourself in the right investments, then you're buying the right investments, and then you're improving those investments. I love improving an asset that we already own because that's additional income from doing very little work. If you're doing those 4 steps, the financial freedom wolf is going to grow, and eventually your financial freedom will be all you see in your existence. If your conversations are focused on financial freedom, focused on the growth side of things, then you can remove that work for somebody else language from your mind, be the slave from your mind, remove those elements, and you can actually be a more compelling person. Hands to the camera if you know this is better in your personal life, but it's also better in your business life. You want clients to work with you? Focus on the gain that they're going to get. Now, it's important to recognize that there is pain. And when we do talk about advancement, who would like to know a secret to making something seem like a larger advancement than it normally is? We'd like to know how to make something seem like a bigger, larger advancement. Excellent. It's called fractionation. So we want to use a tool called from NLP. This comes right out of neurolinguistic programming, which if you're in Master of Influence, you're going to learn a lot more about. NLP talks about fractionation, where we take somebody from a bad thought or negative thought and move them over to a positive thought. So in the dating world, I used to go and I would actually aim at making somebody upset. I would aim at finding something that would frustrate them. And then I would shift over to the other side and give them something that would make them happy. Whatever I found that was going to be a bothersome element, maybe I would give a false compliment, like, oh, who did your nails? And they'd say, and I'd be like, they missed the spot. Instant, whoa, like embarrassment, frustration. What do you mean? I'm like, yeah, it's no big deal. They still came out really, at least you got a pretty smile, right? Hands to the camera if you recognize that this is two sides of the conversation. Same with social media. I look to aim to frustrate somebody. Hey, poor people have no clue how money works. A comment like that is going to draw a lot of attention and get a lot of either people who are positive about, yeah, that's probably true, or people who are negative on the other side saying, man, like you're kind of being a dick. But now that I've got your attention, let me tell you why it's so important to understand how poor people think, so we can actually move them forward, so we can move them to a sign of advancement, to a place where they can be better. So fractionation in any conversation, starting off with something relatively negative and then shifting over to something very positive is going to be a very good benefit. Who would like the ultimate, where are my realtors at? Hands to camp if you're a realtor. Who'd like the ultimate fractionation cue for a realtor? Do you like the idea of working until you're 65? No? So you'd like to get out of your job? Would having passive income be a good solution for you, right? So get out of your job or passive income as opposed to working hard every day in your job. Starting off, do you like your job? If they say no, man, you got an opportunity. What's the worst part about the job? And then once you know the worst part about the job, you can point it out. So you hate having to go tell your boss what you did the last 3 hours? Buy a piece of real estate, and you'll never have to work for anybody ever again, except for yourself. You'll be your own boss. Entrepreneurs, we know that can be a little tricky, huh? Anyway, we love the freedom that it brings eventually. Financial freedom comes from doing things that nobody else is willing to do. There's things you're going to have to do that kind of suck. There's trainings, right? We go to these trainings every Saturday. Who right now is in beautiful weather? Hands to the camera if it's beautiful outside, looking amazing outside. Excellent. Who's in New England and it's cold? Yeah. All right. It's still beautiful outside. You still want to get out there, right? So imagine on a Saturday, there's people right now who are sleeping in. On a Saturday, there's people right now who are outside enjoying their day. You're in here grinding. You're in here learning. You're in here getting yourself hyped up and excited about your life, getting excited about what you're going to create for yourself. You're in here thinking about advancement, thinking about becoming the advancing person in the lives of the people around you, thinking about increase for yourself and increase for others. This morning, I had a wonderful conversation with Dorena, and I went into the room. I woke her up. I was like, babe, I got an idea. And I said, I want to create a virtual training company with like VR glasses and all that stuff. And she said, okay, that's great. Because she loves all my ideas. And I said, so it's going to advance our community, our students. It's going to be amazing for advancing everybody. And then I said, and then the next level to that is then I'm going to teach Grant Cardone how to do it, and Ty Lopez and all my Dream 100, all these guys I look up to and aspire to, Tony Robbins and all these guys. I'm going to teach them how to put their platforms on a virtual reality. And that's the impression of increase to others, right? To the next level, so you can get access to those people. Hands to the camera if you recognize that's a path that could work, right? It's a path that could work, but ideas are only as good as implementation. Ideas are only as good as the work that gets them there, the action steps, the waking up with that thought every single day, and the action steps that move you towards it. So my first thought was, I'm going to text my videographer and make sure that he has the ability to do 3D video. And if he doesn't have it now, the 100 Millionaire Summit will be recorded in 3D. Hands to the camera if you'll be there this year, ready for that 3D image. Oh, hell yeah. So dress appropriately. It's going to be awesome. We've got some action steps that go along with this wealth principle. Hands to the camera if you like the action steps every week, if they've moved you forward. If you take action on these action steps, awesome. Excellent. So the first, well, before we do it, I want to define the impression of increase. And increase is The definition that I found in Google is something that becomes or makes greater in size, amount, intensity, or degree, or an instance of growing or making greater. Think about your bank account. Think about the size of your house or the happiness level that you have. So something that you can make larger, increase in size, intensity, or degree. Then the impression of advancement. And it's important to understand words because these words are what actions you're going to be taking. Development or improvement. The promotion of a person in rank or status. The process of promoting a cause or plan. The process of creating or promoting a cause or plan. Rank or status. So in your company, does your company provide room for advancement? Where are my recruiters at? People who are looking for salespeople, looking to hire people in their companies, people who are looking to bring on, okay, so how about people who are looking to bring on clients, looking for motivated sellers, looking for people to throw properties at them? Answer the camera if you're one of those people. All right. So if you want all of that access to new people, they have to see a plan in your business, that there's some sort of cause, there's some sort of reason to work with you over somebody else, that there's some sort of process of gaining some sort of status within your company. Who has a list of the best properties they've ever purchased? Does anybody have a list of best properties ever purchased? Excellent. So for us, we talk about our best deals all the time. Who's heard about the condos? Who's heard about our condo deal? Yes, who's heard about my Subject 2 deal, my Charles Street deal, my East Main Street deals, my 10 units that I picked up with very little out of pocket. I put no money in. So there's a reason that we talk about the deals we've done, because it gets other people inspired to work with us. So for our sellers, when I go into a seller's house, I'm like, yeah, we do this deal all the time. Yeah, we did this deal. Oh, your house is no big deal. We just did 24 condos, right? This is the sort of stuff we do. Answers can, if you see, that would make a seller feel more confident in working with you. You show the signs of increase, show the signs of advancement. There's something that you can do right now in your business to show some form of advancement, not for you, and advancement for the other people. And the other people, here's what a seller wants to know. Oh, here's a picture of Susan. I put her in a house in North Carolina. She was living here in Fall River, barely scraping by, had all this equity in the property. When we sold it, she moved to North Carolina, has $100,000 in her bank account, and she's living in a bigger home that she bought for the same amount of money she sold this property for. And because she financed it, she has an extra $100,000, which, by the way, I pay her $1,000 every single month, which is more than her mortgage. So I've doubled her income, and I've also improved her quality of life. Who wants to be Susan right now? Hell yeah. All right. Give yourselves a round of applause for paying attention. That story is a story anybody can use, right? The process that we've created for our investors is the same process you can create for your sellers. All of the people who sold real estate with us that lent to us, those are my investors. They become my investors. They're no longer motivated sellers. They're now my investors. They're people that we're serving and helping to advance, helping to move forward. Can you in your business right now add this step in? Would it be easy to add that little piece where you talk about how they can earn a little piece of extra income, where they can increase their income from the property cash flow, the cash they're receiving, the gain that they're receiving? Absolutely it is. And you can take a step further and just keep them in the deal, right? Seller financing, keep them in the deal and give them passive income from selling, give them a down payment, give them passive income from selling and getting the cash flow, and improve their lives by getting rid of the property they don't want. And they move into another property, give them enough for a down payment. And basically the amount of money you're paying them every month pays for their new mortgage. Hands to the camera if you know that's possible for people. Yeah, absolutely. And you should be doing it. It's the right thing to do. Give the impression of increase and advancement in everything that you do, and more people will want to work with you. We talk about books all the time in here. Jen is on the call. She writes books for us so that people can become authors, which makes you, author is better than a bachelor degree, right? In a world of entrepreneurship, there is no bachelor degree for being a real estate investor or a real estate agent. There is only a book. You write the book, or you write a pamphlet. You have a pamphlet, your investor package. that shows that you have success in this. And everybody who has an investor package, who actually has one that they put out, hands to the camera if you have an investor package that you give to investors. All right, that's something to work on today. That is something to work on. Like, as soon as this call is over, you need a story. You need to be able to tell the people that you're going to work with that you are in the way of advancement, and you are advancing other people. You're advancing everybody who works with you, giving the impression of increase. For the person that is going to have an opportunity to work with you, they're going to get, wow, passive income. They're going to get their house sold. They're going to get a new opportunity to live in a better place. These three advancements are reason enough where you're different from everybody else. Why would they work with you over a real estate agent? Right? Why should somebody work with you instead of working with a real estate agent? It's because you're going to advance them further than that real estate agent ever could. A real estate agent can't offer passive income unless they're an investor. What are my investor-friendly agents? Men and women who are moving people forward. Give yourselves a round of applause. Love you guys. Awesome. Awesome. We got an amazing community in here. Right now, there's 50 people on the call. We have over 1,000 people who pay attention on Facebook. And each one of you has the opportunity to add value to others. I'm talking about real estate. I'm talking about investment. But if you're not there yet, if you haven't earned that money yet, it's time to earn that money. We've got an amazing deal coming up for the mentorship program. Hands to the camera if you are in the mentorship program already, or part of our 8-week course, part of our Alchemist Mastery program. All right, let's give everybody a round of applause. You've paid what it was worth at the time. The price of the mentorship has gone up every single year because we've improved the mentorship. We've added pieces to the mentorship. It's gotten better, and it's taken a little bit of time to get here. But now the mentorship costs $1,200. It's 8 weeks, kicking the teeth, all the habits to move you forward. Hands to the camera if just the mentorship alone has changed your life. Just being in the mentorship has improved your business, changed your life. Excellent. I love that. So for the next week, there's a holiday coming up. There's a certain holiday. Who knows which holiday it is? Drop it in the chat if you're familiar with this Thanksgiving, where you're thankful for all the things that you've been given. And right before Thanksgiving, or right after Thanksgiving, there's a holiday called Black Friday. And on Black Friday, entrepreneurs all across the world agree to discount or provide a great deal to their clients. And we had a team meeting last week, and we said, okay, we're going to do it. We're going to do it this year. What product should we give a discount on? What product should we make an amazing deal? Create an offer that was compelling, so compelling that a person couldn't refuse the opportunity. And I thought, why not make it the mentorship? Why not go with our flagship product, the one that usually is the first thing that people talk about, the first thing that people come in who are considering real estate, but they're not sure, or those buyers who are quote unquote buyers, but they haven't quite bought something in a little while, and they keep saying they're investors, but they're not buying anything. The right program to move them forward that has consistently proven that buyers become hyper buyers, that the person who's going to buy a piece of real estate does buy a piece of real estate. What program could make that change? And that was the mentorship, to connect with the most amount of people. So we put the same deal we put together last year. Even though the mentorship's gone up in price, we've decided to take the $300 off and sell it for $897 for the next 7 days. Hands to the camera if you know that somebody in your life could probably use this gift. Somebody in your life is looking to buy more real estate right now, and they're getting cold feet, or they're getting analysis paralysis, or they're concerned, right? They're concerned they don't know how to evaluate a deal properly. And if you're a real estate agent, you're concerned that they're going to ask you to evaluate every single deal for them. Or you'd rather them learn from somebody else how to evaluate the deals, and learn from somebody else how to take down deal after deal after deal using you as their realtor. Because at the end of the day, I always encourage using realtors because I'm a lazy investor. I don't like to go and negotiate with a seller. I don't like to have all those pieces. I like to do it through somebody else. Because if I'm doing it directly, sometimes I make a mistake. Even me. And I've negotiated so many times. When I negotiate for myself, I'm the worst negotiator. When I negotiate for somebody else, man, I crush it. I don't know why. It's because I have the fallback of, oh, I got to go talk to my seller. I got to go talk to my buyer. But when it's my own deal, I'm like, yeah, no big deal. I can let that go. And then afterwards, I'm thinking, shit, that was a big deal. I shouldn't have let that go. Hands to the camera if you've ever had that in your own business, where you, like, if it was you, you're like, okay, everything's kind of cool. But if it's for somebody else, you negotiate way harder. Yeah, I'm the same way. So we teach our buyers, we teach our investors how to buy. We teach our investors how to buy properly with a 20% discount. We teach our investors how to go off market, build a team of off market deals. And then we send in our agents to go and negotiate for us. I wrote the book, Get the Deal, and it's based on two things: too much time and too much money. The only two problems I've ever seen in the world. Somebody either has too much time, which means they're running around doing stuff they shouldn't be doing, or they have too much money, which means they really want to be running around doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing. Hands to the camera if you know that those are really the only two problems in the world, right? Either you want more time back or you want more money so you can eventually go do things you want to do. So time and money, if those are the two arguments, most people who come to us in the mentorship, they're looking to get either their time back or they're looking to get their more money in their pocket so they can have more experiences, more things to do. And the way we do it is we evaluate what you have right now. We evaluate your skills. We bring you through a process, and then we cut out stuff, 80-20. We just remove the things that aren't working for you. And then we instill one good tool, one good aspect. Either it's your business or it's buying real estate. And we expand income and expand asset value. If it wasn't for expanding income or asset value, there'd be no point in talking about money, right? Like otherwise you're just running around and hoping that the life, like hippie style, right? Like the hippies. If we didn't have money to be a piece in our lives, we would be doing all the work ourselves. It'd be okay, just feed ourselves with whatever we got. But we are blessed to have technology. We're blessed to live in America. We're blessed to have roofs over our heads that are, really nice. We got some really nice things here. In fact, Doreen and I are going to be going and looking at some $1 million properties today that may or may not be for ourselves. The princess wants what she wants. So we got to go take a look at some real estate. Answer the camera. If you've got a spouse, you got to take care of, right? You got to make sure they're thinking in abundance and growth and advancement. Yes. And it's exciting, right? To be here in America. It's exciting. So right now the mentorship is, I don't know if it's official. Ron, do I have permission? Is this live yet? Or do I have to wait a day or two before this goes live? Where's Ron Bolin?
It's live.
It's live?
Yes.
And the price is $8,997. Wow, I made that decision this morning. That's so crazy. Let's give Doreen a round of applause. Amazing job.
Ron, a round of applause.
All right, Ron. So I was going to make it $1,000, but Mike Gabriel texted me and said, man, like we did $300 last year. Why would we only do 200 this year? The price went up. Why would we do 2? Let's do another 3 to keep it consistent. Hands to the camera if you like consistency in your deals. Hell yeah. So for everybody who's been through the mentorship and you believe it was a very valuable aspect, a very valuable tool for you, I'm going to offer you the opportunity to reach out to a friend or two who you believe is a good asset to this business, a good asset to your business, to your life. If they were on board doing what you're doing, they'd be a supporter in your life, somebody who would encourage you to do more, to be more. And if there's a hater in your life, don't talk to them today. Hands to the camera if you make that commitment. You got a hater in your life, leave them alone. But today, go out and find somebody who you can give this gift to. You've got a week. And if they are not willing to put up the money to pay for it, pat them on the back and move on to the next person. Hands to the camera if that makes sense. If a person doesn't pay for their advancement, then there's somebody who doesn't pay. That's fine. They stay behind. Be okay with that. Be okay with moving forward only with people who are moving forward. In your business, in your life, if they're not willing to pay you for your product, for your services. I know as an agent, people say it all the time. Oh, I don't want to pay an agent. Look, I'm moving on to the person who loves paying agents, somebody who's like me, who loves paying real estate agents, loves paying wholesalers. I love paying investors. I love paying people who do things for me. Hands to the camera if you know that's a good way to build a big business. Right? If people don't like to pay, they're small businesses. I get it. You don't got a budget for me. That's cool. But people who are looking to get to the next level, who are looking to expand and grow, those are going to be your very best clients. So qualify them. Now, on a motivated seller side, don't expect a motivated seller to come through the mentorship. It's not going to work out for you. Hands to the camera if we get that, right? This is only for your buyer friends. It's for people who want to be just like you, friends, family who you care about, who want to be just like you, move you forward together with you. So bring in your community and tribe with you. This is an offer for them. This is we'll call it the family discounts, the Black Friday deal. So let them know about it and give them an opportunity, but do not force them. Do not try to compel them. Only be honest with your results. Share what's worked for you. Share what's working out. Share why there's a benefit. but do not push somebody into something that doesn't work. Does that make sense? Hands to the camera if you understand. We're moral and ethical share people, right? We're not salespeople, we're share people. We create offers for people. This way, there's never any feeling in your family like you just tried to sell them, right? Because you got to see these people again. You care about them, your friends. But you do not want to show up at Thanksgiving next year richer, with more money in the bank, going on more vacations, with the bigger house or with the better spouse, and with more income coming in, and then be like, oh man, why aren't you telling me about that program? Answer the camera if you know what I'm talking about. You want to be able to say you did it, right? And that's the only reason I even talk about real estate with my family is I'm like, hey guys, just heads up, just so you know, still doing it. It still works. Giving you an opportunity to jump in. If you don't, I'm okay with it. I just want to know that I did my best to say that this was an opportunity for you. There's a book every week. Who loves the book of the week? Who loves this opportunity to learn about the book of the week so you don't have to go pick one? Every week we read a book, and these books are chosen, and we've been through them all by reading them, by experiencing them. And Mike Shine is the keeper of the books, our holistic attorney, the closer. Mike Shine, what is the book of the week? Let's give Mike Shine a round of applause.
Thank you, Walter. Book of the week. Oh my God, this is one of my absolute favorites. It is You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. I would say that I've listened to this on Audible over 20 times. Just a quick shortcut. If you want to get the, Walter, what's this week's principle? Just read it out.
I just
Is it?
sure. It's move with advancement and increase. Give the impression of advancement and increase.
Right. So you know that Walter and I listen to The Science of Getting Rich every single Sunday. So if you don't have time to listen to Jen Sincero, just go to chapter 15 of The Science of Getting Rich, and it's all about being an advancing man. And in fact, it's called The Advancing Man. So that's a shortcut if you don't have time, but I would definitely find time for You Are a Badass, because this book, she tells so much. Like I said last week, I love stories. Jen Sincero's stories are amazing. If you get it on Audible, she reads it herself, and she's just amazing, amazing. She's a writer in New York, and she was broke, and she had all the wealth files that kept her broke. And one of the classic stories that really fits in with this theme is her decision between buying a sensible Honda CR-V or buying an Audi Quattro or Audi 4, whatever. It's a hysterical story. And she became an advancing woman by actually buying that Audi. Sorry, spoiler alert. But this book is just filled with lots of amazing stories. It's, obviously it's written by a woman, and so women are really attracted to this book. But as a man, I loved it too. Can't recommend this book more highly. Added little snippet, her story about going to India is hysterical every time I hear it. So great book. Get it today. Listen to it 10 or 20 times. It's awesome. That's my book of the week. Thank you.
Let's give Michael Shine a round of applause. And I do love this book. So I'll be reading this book again this week. Jen Sincero, You Are a Badass. If you haven't read it, go take the opportunity. Guys, gals, especially the women, right? Like, because a lot of the books are men who write these books. Jen Sincero has such a cool way of going about it. She swears probably more than I swear, and she's got a little bit of like, she can be a little bit intense. But I love that about it, right? It's just so real and so raw. So definitely a good mindset book for thinking advancement. And again, Mike's tip, I did it this morning. I listened to chapter 14 and 15 in The Science of Getting Rich, because I was teaching the advancement man, right? Like I was teaching advancing man and woman, by the way. I was teaching impression of increase. I love those chapters. Those chapters, whenever I'm about to go do videos or about to go do a podcast, I'm like feeling a little dreary, I'll listen to those chapters to amp myself up so I can make sure my message is compelling, make sure that I'm focused on the person in front of me's advancement. How can I compel or find a way to move them towards advancement? Hands to the camera if you commit to this week going out and advancing something in your business. creating your messaging in your business so that it gives the impression of increase. For real estate investors, this is putting your portfolio resume together. Just put a packet together that shows deals you've done, deals you've evaluated. Even if you've never done a deal, you can show deals that you've evaluated, what the ideal deal would look like. And then every single investor package has to have a piece that I know is missing, which is your capital raising piece. Go in and show what 8% interest looks like on a seller financing or on private capital. Put it into your package so that when people are looking through, they see this little bonus piece. Hands to the camera if you know that's how business expands and grows without any effort, no additional work. Excellent. Hands to the camera if you commit to doing it this week, getting it done. Excellent. And if you have a problem with making it beautiful or pretty, just send it to Fiverr for $5 or $20. You can get your packet in your brand colors with your logo on it. No big deal. They'll professionalize it. Whenever we do anything now, I put it into a Word document and I send it off to Fiverr, and then it comes back beautiful. Looks amazing. Oh, I forgot to. Yes. Okay. Absolutely. Sorry about that. If you are looking to get into the mentorship, go to gualtermerlo.com/mentor. gualtermerlo.com/mentor. If you want the deal price, the Black Friday price, you can go to the regular mentorship page and it's right in there. So for everybody who is on the call, who is advancing themselves, let's give you a round of applause. The more you advance yourself, the more you advance the people around you. And the more people around you advance, the more you advance yourself. You can't help helping others and making money. The more people you help, the more money you're going to make. It's just a side effect of being a good person, a decent person. And one argument that I have a lot on social media is that poor people are selfish. Poor people are very, very selfish. All they're thinking about themselves. You know why they don't make more money? I don't need more money. Do you not think about the clients you're serving? Do you not think about the people you go help? That's why they don't make more money. They're not thinking about other people. They're only thinking about the damn selves, right? Why are they broke? It's because, well, I don't need more. I. Look, how many people can you serve? How many people can you help? If you can help more people, man, the money's coming your way. Every day that something good comes into my life, it's because I found a way to advance somebody else's life. Does that make sense? Focused on somebody else, focused on their goals, their dreams, their aspirations, their weaknesses, their problems, their flaws. And only one time do I say, how can I solve that? I'm focused on all of their things, and only a small piece is where do I fit into solving all of their problems? Does that make sense? How can your business advance your clients in such a way, advance the people in your life in such a way, how can your business advance your spouse's life? How can your business advance your children's life in such a way that everybody gets on board with moving you forward? Everybody gets on board with sharing what you're doing with other people. Speaking of, I'm on a mission to build 100 millionaires who are inspired to build 100 millionaires, taking applications now. If you know somebody who thinks that they could be a millionaire, or you know somebody who's got the motivation, desire, and drive, send them in our way. We're ready to take care of them. And of course, that application has an application fee, but we've reduced the fee for this week only, $900 for people who are serious about becoming millionaires. Let's give our future millionaires a round of applause. Cheers to your success. Oh, the recording is over, but it's about to get down to the coaches zone. Coaches, what is your piece of advice for wealth principle 42? Give the impression of increase and advancement, starting with Dr. Terry on the bullet train of action. Dr. Terry, take it away.
You know, it reminds me of, I'm a hypnotist, and I went and got trained by a guy named Mark Usick. We talk about him a lot here. He is my mentor, a friend. And I went out for the very first show, and I went out there and I was doing my little skit, and I was amazing. And I had all the inflections, and I was doing everything right. Then we watched the tape, and I was absolutely monotone. I had no inflection. And I was so embarrassed watching that tape. And it occurred to me as I conversed with Mark, and he was laughing at me like hysterically, that we give a different impression to the outside world than we have of ourselves. We have this way of lying to ourselves, telling us exactly what we want to hear about how we're performing. And what happens is we think we're doing one thing when we're doing completely opposite. How often does this happen to people that they think they're coming off one way and then they're misinterpreted? I know it happens to me a lot. It used to happen to me even more until I understood this principle of paying attention to how I'm coming off. Am I giving this idea of advancement? Am I giving this idea of increase? Am I showing up the way I want people to see me? Or am I showing up the way that my insecurities are? And so in this lesson that we're talking about, we're really looking at making sure that our insecurities aren't showing up, but our real power, our presence, our passion is showing up. And that's what Walter's talking about today, is really connecting to where we want to go, not what we're afraid of. How many people have shown themselves that they come off the wrong way? In this mentorship, in coaching with Generator Coaching, in working with all these people, these are the exact things that we really work on for you, is to show up the way you want to show up instead of the way you do show up in that fear. Removing the fear, getting on the bullet train of action. That's what this is all about, is really understanding how to be that advancing person and show up with your charisma, show up with your power, show up with your intention every day.
Let's give Dr. Terry Wager a round of applause. Hands to the camera if you commit to showing up with advancement every single day so that more people pay you. And since I got Melanie Santos on the call, Melanie, this is like when people walk in the subway, right? When your employees walk in the subway, they got to feel like they are the best sandwich maker on the planet, that sandwich making skill that they're doing is going to advance them to maybe being the manager, to maybe being the district manager, to maybe being a regional manager. As you continue to expand your business, they're thinking, yeah, Melanie, buy more, because every one you buy gives me one more opportunity to be a manager in the store, to get to that supervisor position and get to that bigger role where I get a company car and I'm driving around making $100,000 a year. Every single sandwich I make, if I do it right, if I'm smiling, if I'm giving the advancement, feeling of advancement and increase, that these sandwiches are healthy and that they're built the right way, that every customer in here could be promoting me to that next role that I'm looking for. Hands at the camera if you recognize you could do this in your business. If Melanie can do it in subways, if we could do it in real estate, then you can do it in your business. You can improve the perception of your business in the minds of others without changing your product, simply by changing the way you do it, simply by changing the way you're thinking about it and speaking about it when you're speaking about it and thinking about it. Mitch Jaworski, the Scaredy Cat Guide. Let's give him a little bit of information, and I hope you have a rap quote from Wu-Tang or one of your guys.
It's becoming a requirement, apparently. Pressure's on every week. So yeah. I love Terry's quote. I made it a quote in chat. We give a different impression to the world than we have for ourselves. You have no idea how much that resonates with me. I've talked about that, how that's been a struggle and misinterpreting what I'm trying to communicate has been a problem, especially in like personal relationships. So that's spot on what Terry's talking about. And the closer you can get to being congruent with what the world's getting and what you think you're putting out there, the better, at least in my opinion. And I think one of the easiest things where you can have congruency is with knowledge, right? And knowledge we use for advancing. Like that's one of, I think, the easiest ways to advance is with knowledge. Like emotional advancement, I think takes way more work, but knowledge you can apply to like investing and at least get advancement in your financial life, right? So, just spreading knowledge, not only for yourself, but to others, like giving that value add, like you talked about, that advancing and giving that, additional value. It's kind of like the over deliver, right? I usually say undersell, over deliver. Walter says oversell and then over deliver. So, I mean, if we just focus on the knowledge piece, that alone can advance you and it can advance others. And, to basically tie a rap quote into that, Talib Kweli once said, at exactly which point do you start to realize that life without knowledge is death in disguise? That's why knowledge of self is like life after death. Apply it to your life. Let destiny manifest. So, use that knowledge to manifest your financial destiny, at least, the mental and emotional stuff. That's what you got guys like Terry Wager for. And when it comes to the financial stuff, you got guys like me and Walter. So get that knowledge for yourself and then spread the wealth, right? And you're just going to keep growing because, as Mike Shine always says, abundance mindset, there's enough for everybody. Abundance mindset.
Let's give Mitch Jaworski a round of applause. I'll throw out Ryan McDermott as well. Is Ryan on the call? Or
He's
did
looking
he
at an
have a
8-unit
soccer game?
No, he's looking at an 8-unit property.
Throw him out. Keep him.
I like him. We'll keep him in here. He's looking at an 8-unit property right now. Let's give Ryan McDermott a round of applause. Constantly growing, constantly improving. I love it. Then Michael Shine. You're gonna hold on for a second till I get Dorina on here. Dorina Pagoda, you're up next. Thank you, Mike. You're the best reminder.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, this has been a life changer for me since I first read the book, The Science of Getting Rich, because it does indeed talk about advancing men and women. Thank you, Mike Shine, for bringing this up. And it sort of became my mantra. What I want for myself, I want for everybody. And this is a very, very simple principle because we're human beings. All we want, and we want to advance. How high the tree wants to go and grow as high as it possibly can. So deep inside, we want the same. We want to get as much as we possibly get, give as much as we possibly can give, and earn money as much as we possibly can earn. So then we continuously grow and there's no limit. So what you want for yourself, you want for everybody, meaning, if I want a better house and someone else wants a better house, let me encourage them to go after it. Let me help them to get it. Oh, who can I connect them with? There's a reason we're constantly expanding our network. There's no end to it. Like, how much can we possibly grow as a community? So be an advancing man or woman and add, another thought or another idea to someone else in front of you. Listen to what they want. And yes, Yvonne put it in the chat. It comes back to you by advancing someone else. You're advancing yourself. So it's a powerful principle, and it's super, super easy to live by every day. Just think, as you go outside the house today, unless you're already outside, who can you help and who can you compliment? Who can you listen to first, what they want, so that you can help them to achieve what they want and give that impression of advancing man and woman. Boom.
Let's give Dorina a round of applause. She's amazing. She is the advancing woman. Every single week that you show up, you improve yourself. Every single week that you're on this call, you are putting yourself in the way of advancement. You are, again, motivating yourself and you're pushing yourself to the next level. There are people who started off with us and they're afraid of jumping on the calls because the call gives them motivation. Right? The call makes them push a little bit, get a little more inspired to go and do stuff. And so when they're capping out or they're plateauing, they avoid this call. But for each one of you, and I recognize so many of your faces because you're on these calls every single week, I see the improvement in your lives. I see the growth in your life. I see the increase of the people you're serving and your skills and your abilities and the way you're communicating and the way you're showing up just in general, wherever you're at. So let's give yourselves a round of applause. And Michael Shine, follow that one. Good luck with that. What is your piece of advice and information on Wealth Principle 42?
Yeah, so thanks. Yeah, so similar to Dorina, I got it out of The Science of Getting Rich. When Walter said he read it every Sunday, I started listening. And for some reason, the term "I am an advancing man" really struck me. And I love it. And so all I did was I kept saying it, and my mindset shifted so that every room that I would walk into, I walked into as an advancing man. And almost like magic, that caused everything in my life to get better. So if you just want to have fun with this, just wake up, say I am an advancing man or woman, and just say it and see how you stand. Even while I'm talking right now, my posture has changed, kind of like they say with like the Superman posture. I am an advancing man. And I swear to God, every meeting you have, every networking event you have, every business deal you have, every fun event just becomes much better, all because you just say you're an advancing man, and your psyche goes with you there. So it's amazing. It really is just a quick shift that can change your life. So that's my 2 cents. Thank you.
Let's give Michael Shine a round of applause. I love that. That is such a cool principle to wake up as. I do the same thing. Like I wake up and I think, man, like I am in the way of increase. Anybody who meets me today is so freaking blessed. Like they might like just make money just from a quick conversation. Who knows? Right. I just came up with this whole new avenue of increase, a whole new avenue of income because I partnered with somebody. Anybody who touches me now may get a piece of that. Hands to the camera. If you know you can do that every day, you can make connections. You can make those pieces happen for other people as well. Excellent. Christine McGinley, we've been talking about advancing man. Let's talk about advancing women. You're up.
Hell yeah. Mine plays off Doreena's about simple. It's such a simple concept, and it's free for us to implement to others. It doesn't cost us a thing. Yeah, we can advance ourselves by reading books, which might cost money, or getting advanced coaching. We're coaching addicts, so we can provide more value to our clients. But it's really simple and it's free. How can you talk to other people and add the value? I mean, so many times we look at the negative things that are going on in our lives, like what we could have improved, rather than how can we step into our greatness and recognizing other people's greatness. One of my favorite things, and I've always been, my grandfather, like when I was a little kid, called me Smiley. And I love to smile. I'm always smiling. Even when I'm pissed off, I probably am going to turn that frown upside down. Yeah, cliche, but it makes such a difference. To go around smiling impacts people. And yeah, we've learned how to smile with our eyes. And I can't tell you how much adding a smile to somebody can make a difference. And topping it off with congratulating them, to giving them an affirmation that can move them forward is just huge. So I challenge you to go find 10 people today, including yourself, that you can give yourself a tap on the back, a pat on the back, give yourself a thumbs up.
Let's give Christine McGinley a round of applause. What an awesome way to end it with the coaches. Let's give our coaches a round of applause. Every single week they show up, they dedicate their time, they dedicate their knowledge, their information, they donate it to you in hopes that you will move forward in your goals, that you will move forward and advance in your life. Then when you get a chance, you'll make sure that you'll let other people do the same. Hands to the camera if you commit to building 100 millionaires, or at least building a few, add a few to your life. Who knows, if you build 100, you're going to get filthy fucking rich. Who knows that if you make 100 millionaires, right? 100 of your friends, you can make them wealthy. You're going to be living a much better life than anybody else around you, aside from me, because I'm building thousands. I'm building millions of millionaires, 100 at a time. Thanks to each and every one of you advancing yourselves, moving yourselves forward, and advancing the people around you. Let's give you a round of applause for showing up every week, for being involved in your businesses, for caring about your communities, for caring about your family, for caring about yourself enough to ask for more, to say I deserve more, to say I can do this, I believe in myself. And like Mike Shine said, to wake up every day and say, I am an advancing person. I am an advancing personality. The people who connect with me are so lucky to have met me today. Hands to the camera if you could say that in a mirror. If you can say that before you leave the house, man, anybody who meets me is so lucky that they met me today. Awesome. Thank you, coaches. And as we do every week, I want to open it up to questions. This is your chance to ask questions or to share one of your pieces about today's wealth principle. Go ahead. This is your chance. Unmute the mic and let us know if you have a question on one of the wealth principles, a real estate question, a business question. You've got a couple of millionaires, more than a couple. You got 5, 6, 7 millionaires on the call right now, 8 millionaires on the call right now who you can ask questions to.
I have a couple real estate questions.
Bring it,
One,
Vincent.
what
Look at all the
detail,
coaches. Everybody's head just nodded like, yeah, all right. Oh, let's go.
what details do you look for when you're analyzing an area that you're looking to buy in? And then on how do you sell a seller on owner financing? What are some of the benefits to them that you can use to sell them on that?
Awesome. So first, let me start with the easy one. Seller financing is one, a tax benefit. They're not going to have to pay taxes on anything because there's no gains in that year. They only pay taxes when they finally receive the money. And it's an additional stream of income. They're getting the interest payments, which interest is received as passive income. So it's taxed differently from active income. So it's a better form of income than they've ever earned before. And then it's a long-term investment, right? They're now going to have a stream of income that is taxed better, and they're going to have a stream of income that they could pass on to their families. They're learning a whole new business. They're learning how to lend. They're finally being the bank. So there's many benefits, and it's also going to allow them to get a little extra price on the house sometimes, right? Would you pay a little extra if they sell or finance? To answer the camera, if that's true for you, you pay a little extra. Why not offer a little extra if they sell or finance? Hey, would you like a little more money in your pocket? Here you go. This is an option for you. So you can really sweeten the deal just by pointing out whatever's important to them. They may not care about the tax benefits. They may not care about the small amount of interest, but they may want a little extra price on the house, and seller financing to get it there may be the piece that works for you. And then as far as evaluating an area, you're in a area that has multifamilies.
Yes, the area I'm going to look at,
What city is it?
Cleveland.
Cleveland,
Meets
Ohio.
the
Okay.
numbers. It's almost 2% rule, but the only thing I don't like, I see a lot of inventory in the area I'm looking at.
I will give you both strategies. So the easy way to evaluate an area where you eliminate a lot of problems is call 3 property managers and ask them about it. You want, like, this is the rich man's lazy man's way. I just call 3 property managers. I'm like, hey, how is this area? Would you manage there? And if you did manage there, what would it cost? And what can I expect as far as expenses on my side? Is it going to be a more difficult property, or is this a good area? And then if this is a bad area, what is a good area? What does that look like? And what are the costs there? So property manager is going to be able to answer all the questions much faster. But if you wanted to learn how to do it yourself, you could go through the process of finding out what the average tenant is paying, what the average tenant is paying all across the city. So you can identify, like, lower rents are typically a sign of a worse area. And then space of buildings, right? How far are the buildings apart? The more people in an area, the worse the area is going to be. More people closed into an area, the worse it's going to be, unless there are banks, big banks working in those areas. If you have big, massive jobs that are creating high pay and moving in, like right now we have in Tampa, we have the most insane, everything is like a whole storm of all the good stuff. We have the LGBTQ community coming in. We have the IT world coming in. We have the banks are moving here. So we've got a lot of fundamentals, and we got Starbucks all over the place, right? Starbucks is the easy one. We got Starbucks for days. You can't, Starbucks down here is like Dunkin' Donuts back in New England. So there's those are some of the highlights. I like, if I'm in a market like Cleveland where they have single families and multifamilies, I like to buy right on the line where the single families touch the multifamilies. I don't want to be on the street with all multifamilies, and I don't want to be on the street with all single family. I'm going to overpay on the single family side. I'm going to have a really difficult management experience on the all multifamily side. But somewhere in the line, you'll get that street where there's a couple of multis and a single family, a couple of multis, a single family. That's a better area. If there's one multi and a couple of singles and a multi and a couple of singles, you're going to be in a better area. So somewhere in that block that runs in between those two sections of the city. Answer the camera if that's helpful, if that little piece of information on both seller financing and awesome. Let's give Vincent a round of applause. Great question. Great question.
Hey, Walter.
Go ahead, Mike.
Walter, I got a book recommendation for this to Ken McElroy's The ABCs of Real Estate Investing
Yes.
is exactly on this point. So Ken McElroy, ABCs of Real Estate Investing.
So I just want to put out there that I am an advancing man, and everyone that crosses my path and anyone that crosses my path is lucky to be there. Thanks, guys. Another Saturday. I'll see you. I'm out.
Let's give Kevin Pereira a round of applause. Kevin, if you don't know, runs our Monday nights wholesaling boot camp, and he is putting people in the line of increase. He himself is in a line of increase. He's teaching investors how to get access to more deals. He's literally giving investors deals and creating opportunities for real estate investors who are looking to buy off-market properties, who may have those opportunities to sell or finance the deal itself. So if you haven't already jumped onto the Monday night calls, you can go to gualtermillo.com/events and register for the wholesaling bootcamp. The same way you registered to jump into this call, it's right underneath it. The wholesaling bootcamp, man, let's give one more round of applause for Kevin Pereira. He has made such a big difference in this community just by doing what he does. He shows up on the phones, he makes the calls live. Sometimes, the seller's not happy to be heard, to have him on the phone. Sometimes the seller is ecstatic, books an appointment, and ends up selling the property. So you'll watch like his scripts, how he operates, not just him, but other people that he's trained, other people that are in the community. Sometimes Anton gets on the phone, Elizabeth Miller. I occasionally will make an appearance and jump on the phone. I try not to do it too often because that's 2 hours of me cold calling, which I don't mind. I like warm calling, man. Everybody I talk to knows me. Everybody I talk to has heard of me at some point because I do a lot of marketing. Hence the camp, your marketing could use some work. If when you speak to somebody, they don't know who you are. All right, that's a very easy problem to solve. It is, but it will take strategic management of the people you have around you, right? I hire people to manage all my social media. It makes a lot of sense. And Crystal does an amazing job. So, thank you, Crystal. She's not on the call right now, but I know she'll watch us on Facebook later and grab some content from it. Let's open up to more questions. Questions, comments, statements, something you learned, something you want to share with the community about this principle or how it's impacted your life, or times in your life where you've used it, where you've been the advancing man or woman and it's brought you more business or more happiness. This is your chance. And if we don't have...
Walter, I had a woman that came in to see me this week. She is a young lady that is working full-time, and she works with battered women in housing and finding them safe places, and she is going to get her real estate license. So I'm wearing my broker hat right now. And she came in, she was so lovely, she was so sweet, and she was so nervous. And she said, "Oh, I'm just so nervous." And I'm like, "Oh no, totally just chill out. I'm so down to earth, and I just was so happy to get her to stay calm and I'm really looking forward to working with her and mentoring her. And it was just, I could see that I helped her, and it was just such a great feeling. And I'm really looking forward to helping her and working with her.
Let's give Melissa Baker a round of applause. Melissa, if you don't already know, is a millionaire. She's her and her husband do amazing real estate deals in Rhode Island. And she's also an investor. And she's also runs her own brokerage, a real estate brokerage, with a team of people she's advancing. In fact, some of the people who work with Melissa are students of ours who she is advancing and moving forward. So it's a wonderful opportunity for anybody who has the opportunity to the chance or the desire to buy in Rhode Island and Massachusetts, right, Melissa? You do both states?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Let's give Melissa Baker a round of applause. Love seeing what you're doing. Love seeing how you're helping investors grow their wealth and their knowledge at the same time.
Thank you.
RK, I see your hand, brother.
Yeah, hi, how's it going? Russell Kenny. So just make clear. Tom Osbeck recommended and invited me, and I want to thank you all. I'm sorry I got on late. I was just at a church or Christian men's breakfast earlier today, and very nice to meet all of you. Dorina mentioned her name, but she might be reaching out to me. I wondered if this recording might be available.
Absolutely, Russell. If you go to my Facebook page, it's Walter Amarillo Real Estate Mentor. It is currently being recorded live right now, and you can go back and start from the beginning and watch the whole thing. And you can drop any questions related to it right there in the chat as well. I follow up with every chat that goes out, and not just me, but the other coaches and other community members will answer questions as well.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
This is great stuff, particularly about around mindset and wealth and those things. I've been an investor for going on like 15 plus years now, and had some, thank you, and have had some properties, some ups and downs as all of us. And I'm looking now to get back into it in the next couple of years. So, and
welcome, Russell. Let's give Russell a round of applause.
oh, and you all too. Thank you.
I love seeing, look at that, Tom Osbeck, right? Another one of our real estate agents who's an investor, who's out there serving people, advancing people, inviting a friend in. And now Russell Kenny, now I know what RK stands for. Russell is in here with us looking to get back into business. He's got over 15 years of experience. Who knows, they could probably learn something from Russell, yes?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. This is an amazing community.
Happy to teach too, happy to offer.
I'm telling you, thank you for saying that, Russell. Every millionaire I've ever met, every millionaire, multimillionaire I've ever asked a question to never said no, right? Before I was rich, I wasn't always, who I am today. Before I had money, I would go to the rich guys that I met. If I was blessed enough to be like in the way of them walking, I would be like, hey man, how'd you get there? Right? Hey, what'd you do for a living? Right? There's a guy on TikTok now who does this. I was doing that. And I was getting answers. Nobody ever said no. Nobody ever told me I'm not telling you. Right. So just ask how to do it. Ask what they did. What other questions do we have? What other questions before we jump off? I want to make sure that if there's anything stopping you, go ahead, Melissa.
Oh, I just wanted to thank you and thank the coaches, because I went into, there's a monthly business networking I go to on Friday mornings. It's once a month. And I went in this past Friday, and my mindset, I was thinking when I was there, when it was my turn to chat and speak, I was thinking of you, and I was thinking of the coaches and how I rearranged in my head on a positive way, like to discuss what I do, how I can help others, and what I offer and so forth. And it was all because of you and the coaches. And I want to thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Melissa. I've said it before, your success is the biggest reward for us. Let's give Melissa Baker a round of applause. Absolutely amazing. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And for everybody who has messaged me this week, thank you for the messages. I just caught up, and all the thank yous, all of the questions, man, that's why I do it. I love getting the questions. I love getting the thank yous, and being able to move anybody forward, no matter what part of the game you're at. It means a lot to me. So thank you guys for the testimonials, for everything you've done for us to motivate me to keep doing it. Alicia, I see your hand up.
Yes. So good morning, everybody. Dorina, thanks for messaging me last night. This is my little special guest I told you about, early training. Start them young.
We have a baby discount. You can bring him to all the calls for free.
Hey, he can help a deal. Let me tell you, he's got some charm. So I just wanted to say I've watched, and a few of you know this by now, I've watched Walter in the group for a couple of years, too long, I'm ashamed to say. Watching is never good, people. Action. But the one thing that I can see that I can advocate for is that I have watched several people join the mentorship, and I have watched them grow. You can see their progression and their action. Kevin is one. I saw him when he first started the group. Now he's leading the dealer, the Monday night calls, the wholesaling calls. I've seen Sandra make her improvements. I've seen Jen. So I've seen Elizabeth. She started out, kind of quiet like everybody watching. So there is growth through growing and there is growth through joining Walter's mentorship program. Even though I haven't done it, I have seen others do it. And that's why it's my time. It's time to stop watching. So just wanted to say a shout out to Walter, Dorina, all the coaches, Terry, Mitch, Mike Shine's always on there. So you guys are doing a great thing. I've seen you help people and improve lives. So keep it up and go team.
Let's give Alicia a round of applause. I love even somebody who hasn't had the opportunity or taken the opportunity to jump into the program yet. We have people who are watching your success. I'm telling you, when I say this, I mean it. Your success is our success. You doing well. When people ask me, how can I help? My first thought is, if you haven't hit 1 million yet, please go hit the 1 million. Please just do what I just suggested you do. Go take the actions. Don't be afraid. Text me if you need help. Ask me a question. We're going to move you forward. And once you hit that 1 million, I want you to keep making more millions. But at that point, now you have some clout. Now you have some perspective, right? Like Melissa was just talking about. Melissa's a successful millionaire already, but she gains perspective. And that's what each one of you is gaining. The more money you make, you're gaining perspective. The more deals you do, you're gaining perspective. The more assets you're holding, you're gaining perspective, so that I can now trust you to have a conversation with somebody who is not there yet. It's your mindset that I'm really looking to be able to pass on to other people. So the more successful you become, the more you get to that level of attainment, that accredited investor status. Hands can if you want to be an accredited investor. The definition of an accredited investor is one who is earning over $250,000 a year and has a net worth of over $1 million. That makes you an accredited investor. This is less than 5% of the population. Less than 5% of the population. Go ahead, Russell.
I was going to say that's great that you say "and," because I thought it was an "or," which is that changes things a lot.
It is an "and." It is the ampersand.
Yeah.
And that's how you become an accredited investor. Well, the other way, there's another way to be an accredited investor. You just be a financial planner. Get your Series 7 that makes you accredited. So you don't have to have any money, just have to be really smart.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe you can have both.
That's right. Or you could have both. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's give Alicia a round of applause. I love that. I love that. Watching your success creates other people's success. It motivates other people to do things. So be successful. It's the first step to helping us out, is let's get you there first. Let's get an amazing testimonial from you. And if we have to put in the work to get that, awesome. Excellent. Challenge accepted. That's our opportunity. So the first thing for me to help you is I'm aiming at the testimonial. I swear to God. Who was at the 100 Millionaire Summit? Who was at the summit with us in Orlando? You know, that event was about testimonials. That event was all about give them an amazing experience, give them an opportunity, give them the network, give them the knowledge, get them out of their house, get them away from their friends for a little bit, create new friends, create new opportunities. We created an offer, give them something so crazy, give them an amazing deal so crazy that they're going to look at that offer and be able to brag about it the rest of the year with everybody else who's paying full price for all the other stuff that's in there. Our event coming up, Mission of Millions, is a $3,500 event. But the people in Alchemist Mastery got a massive, massive deal there. There's so many elements. There's 12 events coming up that everybody's paying for. The crypto event that just went, we charged what, $200 for that, Mitch? Or was that $100? You reduced it down? Everybody in Alchemist Mastery got it for free. Everybody in Alchemist Mastery gets into all of these events all year already paid for at a massive, massive deal. Man, I love what we do. I really do. And I love each one of you who shows up, each one of you who's taking themselves to the next level, paying it forward. The partnerships that you're making with each other, man, it's crazy. You're making more money just from hanging out in the right rooms. Who gets to say they built something like this? We do, right? As a community, each one of you is the asset. Each one of your success is one more level of success to everybody around you. So thank you for what you're doing for yourselves. Thank you for building yourselves up. Thank you for the time, man. When nobody else is supporting you, when you're reading a book and your eyes are tired and you know you're taking notes and it's difficult, man, I'm right there saying thank you for your personal development. When you're taking those training courses, or you're going to coaching programs, or you're traveling across the country for events and you're pushing yourself harder than you've ever pushed yourself and nobody understands. Thank you. I know what you're going through. And when you're doing the work, you're getting out there, making the calls, and you're at the appointments, and you're in people's houses. Maybe the house doesn't smell good, or the person in front of you is not giving you a good time, but you're learning, you're paying attention to what you said, what worked, and you're thinking of something Doug told you, or Terry told you, or I told you, that you're using in your sales situation that changes the story. And the person says yes, and they close with you. And you did all of that work to get to that point. The entire time I've been here saying thank you. Thank you for your success. Your success leads to our success. So, ladies and gentlemen, if there are no more questions, message me on Facebook. If you have anything that comes up you want to learn, or there's something blocking you, shoot me a message, shoot me a text, and go take action on this week's wealth principle. Build out that piece of your business, build out that asset so that other people can get the impression of increase. Change your messaging on Facebook, on LinkedIn, change your messaging all across all of your websites and your social media, so that when people go there, they see that you're an advancing man or woman, an advancing realtor, an advancing business person, an advancing investor. And one more pro tip: when you speak to your spouse later on today, give them the impression of advancement. You know what I mean? Like go and make them feel like they are very lucky to be with you. Like, man, they got the score of the century by hanging out with you. Make sure your kids feel like they are the luckiest kids on the planet, just from whatever conversation. Maybe it's a smile, like Christine said, but go and spread that love. Give them that opportunity to enjoy your presence. Hands to the camp if you think you do this week. Awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause. Love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm going to go look at some $1 million real estate. When you have a choice, always work with the best.
Always work with the best, the best, the best,
Bye, everybody.
the best.
Bye, guys.
Great week. Peace.
Bye, everyone.
Peace.
You.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Have a great weekend, great week. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. I'll see you
Happy
Black
Thanksgiving.
Friday.
I miss
Yeah,
Doug.
everybody.
Happy
Tesla
Thanksgiving.
to the
Happy
moon.
Black Friday.
Get all your materials Black Friday. Get
Hell
those
yeah.
discounts.
That's what